resident. Do you want to run the meeting?
I think.
I guess I did the last time.
Alright. Or otherwise I can too. I don't mind.
I don't mind. Well, you're taking notes.
Yeah, you're taking
hard,
notes.
It's hard to do that, so I'll just do it. It's fine.
All right, I believe we are live now.
Do we have an Angie on Zoom?
Right now we have Casey and Sarah on Zoom. Casey, please let us know when Whitman joins as well. All right, take it away.
All right, August 4th, 2025. Welcome everyone. It's like acknowledging how awesome the land is here in Illinois. It's fantastic. Appreciate it. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I do want to point out just a few teacher things that I added just like this afternoon that we'll get to, but the Project Youth Plus just got added this afternoon under Community and Culture. The Oregon Career and Information System got added. I had a note on there about Angie taking a medical leave and changed it to 2 different bullet points about Angie and then also some potential members. And then finally, under new business, I added Russ Ranch Nature Center discussion. So those are things that I just added this time.
May I also suggest that we add a discussion, perhaps in the facility section, about internet providers.
Facilities section. All right, that's about it then, everybody. Okay, so let's approve minutes from the June 30th meeting.
Well,
unless there's discussion.
I move to approve the agenda as
Oh, I'll second that.
Alright.
All right.
Oh,
Do you want to add something too?
No, I was just gonna see if Whitman was voting or not, but never mind. I think we haven't heard yet that he's there.
Okay, so minutes for the June 30th meeting. Does everyone approve of those? Have questions, concerns, need to read them? Thoughts, feelings? Okay. Would anyone like to move to approve them?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second that. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approved. Public comment time. If there are any members of the public that would like to say anything, we'd love to hear from you. Please keep your comments down to 2 minutes if you can. Thank you. Anyone on the internet banging on their internet doors that we see?
I have not had any comments submitted to me.
Okay. All right then. I think we can move on from there. Board membership. So I guess we need to start talking about medical leave.
Gracie informed me, and I think that Angie actually emailed the board as well, about not being able to do art walk because of her medical issues, and I think we're okay. And she's just she just can't do much of anything outside of self-care.
Yeah.
And so Gracie let me know that because she wasn't sure how we handled that, and I said, well, the same way that Amanda was handled and the way I was handled my thought is just how do we all feel about Angie taking a break? And my 2 cents is that I think that we've all been very supportive of our board members in the past and allowing them to take care of themselves, and so Especially if the second part of the conversation means that we have maybe a couple new people interested in joining us, so that we aren't ever in a dangerous situation of not having a quorum.
Right.
And then also not having so many people joining us that Angie doesn't have room to come back.
Do we have a limit on the board members?
Thanks.
Hang on, I'm
I'm chuckling about your sticker on your laptop.
Fair enough.
I'm always looking. One thing, okay, so. Officer.
I do think that it's like, we have to have more than 6, but less than,
I think we have like a lot of support.
I think
I
so.
think I'm not concerned about not
15 is what.
13.
13, that's what I was gonna say.
I just saw it a second ago, I'm trying to find it.
okay, I don't think we should be close to that.
I don't think so.
But it would be interesting. Okay, so I think I would like to move that we approve entertainment.
I would like to second.
Let's vote. It's unanimous. And then,
I found it, would you like me to read it?
yes, please,
It
thank
says the number of board members or trustees or directors constituting the board shall not be fewer than 4 and not be more than 13 during the planning phase. Upon the opening of KCA, the number shall not be fewer than 7, including 2 enrolled student representatives who shall be elected by the student body. 1 ex officio member of the executive teacher leaders will serve as a non-voting board member and recuse themselves from teacher leader personnel discussions and decisions. The number of board members may be fixed or changed periodically within a minimum and maximum by the members of the board. There's
Okay.
more, but it doesn't have any.
So 7 to 13.
7 to 13.
Looks like we got plenty of them.
Mhm.
So, potential new members, does anyone know about them?
Yes. Gracie informed me that she spoke with Sally Clements,
Great.
who's been in education for like 40 years, and also has some grant writing experience.
Yeah, she's.
And I'm not sure,
She's
you
on the
may
board
have,
too.
you maybe have more information than I do, because I don't know that I got an impression from Gracie that Sally wanted to join the board, or that Gracie was like, maybe we should get her to come to some meetings, and I'm not sure where Sally's interest level was.
Actually, if Sarah, if you have the option to chime in, would you like to chime in since you spoke with Sally directly?
Yes, I went for a walk with Sally a couple of days ago, and she said that she was very interested in joining the board and she was waiting to hear back.
Oh, great. We will probably
Invite her.
invite her to the next meeting.
All right.
Okay.
And then we can add new members whenever, right? We don't have to do it at the annual meeting. Great.
Yeah, so we'll invite, what is the procedure like to invite someone to like the next meeting? Would the board reach out to Sally? Or would like Sarah just tell Sally about the meeting?
I think,
You'd be happy to reach out? Cool. So Cody will reach out to Sally to invite her to the next board meeting. And then Melissa, you spoke with another person?
I did, so I spoke with one of our parents, actually, which, as you know, right now we only have one parent on the board. So having another KCA parent on the board was kind of like awesome to hear from them. It's Kelly Penis. She has a junior at KCA who's been here since freshman year, and she's very interested.
Oh, yeah, and Athena's a senior this coming year.
She's
Right.
she's a junior.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. So Athena is going into her junior year. And yeah, so Kelly is very interested and wanted me to let you all know that. And would love an invite if you so desire to invite her to the next board meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you will also invite, or who's gonna invite?
I can reach out to Kelly.
Okay.
Okay, Mindy will reach out to Kelly, and I reach out to Sally. Any other new potential members on the horizon?
Those are the only ones that I am aware of.
Okay. I think that concludes the board membership portion. It's on to reports. Financial reporting.
Hi friends, I'm passing around a statement of activity for the month of June. As you know, we closed for July and I did not do work on July receipts, but we've got June. This is what we have spent money on and or received money from. As you notice, each month, usually salaries is our biggest expense. Retirement is another one. June is the month we do not receive a payment from Three Rivers. And so our income is lower. We still have some of the same expenses. Teacher leaders are paid 12 months for their 11 months of contracted work. And rent is paid every month and other things. So it is the month where we have a considerable loss. Here you can see our net income for the month is a negative 47,000. Any questions on those? Your thoughts or anything?
So since it's saying negative 47,000, that will most likely be amended once we get our payment from Three Rivers come this month.
I mean, that was just for that month, so that this won't be amended. It's because this is a snapshot of June. But you are correct that our bank accounts will grow as we get more, like future months, it'll look better. But this is what June looks like.
June is always going to be the lowest, probably.
Yeah.
Ideally, anyway.
Yeah.
We hope so. And also on the second side at the bottom, you can see our checking balance 84,845, savings account balance 166, and for a total in the bank of 251,000. And that's part of that's great. We're in a pretty good financial situation. Part of the reason that it is pretty high is that we have received the CSP grant, the federal CSP grant. Maybe some number like 100,000 that we have received but not spent. And so, once we start spending on those things, then
The buffer a little bit.
then that's but it's great to be in that position right now. We're in good financial shape. So any questions on that?
You said that.
All right. I'm also passing out a look at our fiscal year. I haven't really had a chance to dig in and put together a budget to actual for the year, but this is a quick report I was able to do that shows us our spending for the year from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. So, a snapshot of what our income looked like. You can see there, total income is 842,000 for the year. From the line item there, 563,887 is our funding for students. The 270 is basically the money we received from that CSP grant. And then you see that 4,127. That's some other smaller contributions from people. We have 2 people who contribute monthly. 25 or 50 bucks a month online, and some other smaller donations here and there. And then if you flip over to the bottom of the other page, you can see total expenses for the year was 661. So our net income for the year, basically we spent 180,000 less than we took in. So also a pretty good financial, in terms of, some people might look at that and go, oh, we could have spent that on salaries, we could have spent that on whatever. But the reality is, again, a chunk of that was that CSP grants, maybe 100,000 or something that we have not spent. So even though we've received some grant funding, so but overall, very solid fiscal health for the year. I do plan to next month present a budget to actuals so this is what do we spend money on, where do we get money? Another relevant discussion for us is what did we budget for and how did it turn out? Like, we said we wanted to spend this much on salaries. How close were we way over on salaries, way under on rents, or way over on food? So that's going to be an interesting, but I need to put a little more time into that. This was just an easy thing, quick fix to print out. Any questions on this?
I do have a question. So since we got the CSP grant and we have the renovation completed with that one smaller room, our counseling budget comes out of CSP, right? Like to pay the counselor. Where does that come from again? CIS.
No, it's integrated grants that Casey's been working on with,
Jessica.
thank you, Jessica Durant.
What's the abbreviation for that one?
IB.
No, integrated.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm muted or not.
No, you're not.
You're
Good.
good.
I hear you.
Oh, sorry. IP for integrated programs, specifically the counselor grant is under a grant called SSA, Student Success Act.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm waiting for them to contact me. They haven't given me a timeline for when they will disperse the funds. So I'm waiting for a call from them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Casey. I can't remember any of that. There's so much alphabet soup that I can't remember what abbreviation thing is what.
So that's my checking savings statement activity report. Next is a grants update. KCA and I are in the process of working on a budget revision request to the CSP grant. Been working on that today a bit, trying to get that done the next day or so. Many of you know, we've discussed at other meetings how our original budget, which we created before we even opened the school, had us buying some vans. And then, we found that we can use the buses from Three Rivers for not that much cost, and so made more sense. But we need to submit a revision, and so we're trying to finalize that in the next day. So that's the update on that. Casey, did you want to share any update on other grants? CSP.
Hi. Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Hi. Thanks, Taryn, for reminding me about alphabet soup because I got tongue-tied with it too. It's actually the counselor is funded by the SIA, Student Investment Account, which is part of the IP. So yeah, so that's one thing. Title I, I was just invited to a meeting for Friday morning. So right now, Title I funds, that is funding, last year funded our math testing and our math tutoring. We expect to receive more funding from them this year. It's all based on how many students qualify as low income when they do the count every April 1st. So last year we were funded approximately 28,000 for Title I based on the head count of April 1st, 2024. This year, they haven't given me any information yet as to our budget. I expect to find that out Friday morning. So that's our Title I funding. And so we haven't built the budget yet for that. I'll be getting guidance for that. So we know we have money coming our way for Title I. As far as how we can budget and spend that money, I'm expecting to receive guidance for that on Friday morning. As far as the counselor position and Project Youth Plus and RCC funding, though that's all funding through the integrated program. That money has been budgeted, has been approved. That I'm just waiting for it to be released. And so yes, we can't move forward with posting for the counselor position until we're really certain that that money's coming our way, because that money is mostly federal money. And anyone following the news lately knows that the Department of Education on a federal level is being, the budget's being decimated. And so I can't say that we are guaranteed to receive that money. I don't want to like sound any alarm bells. I think it's probably just fine. But we definitely can't move forward with spending any federal funds until we really get confirmation from the district that everything is good to go. So it should be fine, but we should just, hold our breath until I get a little bit more guidance.
And Casey, I did share the budget that we had for the integrated programs, what we had budgeted for like college and career and the SIA for, so I did share that. I had printed a few of those, so people, board members, you can look at that. That's showing beyond, the money that we're receiving for our, students, our regular funding. This is additional grant funding for some of these programs that Casey's talking about, like the and I attached it to the college, the contracts that I plan to talk about, that you plan to talk about later for Brightspeed Plus. And so, board members, you can ignore the first couple pages for now. We'll get back to that.
And other grant news, last year we also received a Stronger Communities grant. This is just a sort of an update, that funded $4,200, I believe, for the security systems. And we ordered those have been delivered. They're, as last I checked, on in boxed up in the black box theater, and Taryn is planning to get those installed. So I think that's one grant that is wrapping up. That $4,200 for some Stronger Connections grants, I think is that one is called. And Ryan, you mentioned CSP. I don't know if there's any other grant news on the horizon from my end. Am I missing anything?
I think that's it.
Great,
I
thank you.
think that's it. Thank you.
Have you had any reply from Caitlin Dean about the other? Has anybody heard
There-
from
I was like, that's open until end of August.
And I think it just opened, and
Oh, okay.
so we had that meeting. I don't think they.
It's still open.
Yeah, she hasn't submitted yet, but.
Oh, okay.
Now that I'm back, I can reach out to her. I should be seeing her on Friday. Follow up on that.
All right. Audit report.
And so I did send this out when we received it in email from our auditors. It's called the interim audit. I'll pass out a few of those. There's more. This came in, so we, as I mentioned at a previous meeting, this year our audit is kind of split into two parts. There's the interim audit where they're kind of doing some initial stuff, but then the real audit was, okay, let's wait till the fiscal year's over and we've done our report. I've scheduled that to happen in early October. I think maybe the first week in October, something like that, is when they'll be throwing more reports at me. Okay, now give us this. Now give us that. It shouldn't be as much as it was last year, partly because we've already done a fair amount of it with this interim audit. But you can see that the letter there, and then also their posting fieldwork memorandum. So we'll take a look at that, and I think there was one thing where they listed as an exit comment. For 5 out of 40 disbursement transactions, there was no evidence of approval. And that I didn't even share some of our approval, like we discussed in emails, and I don't remember them asking for some of those, so that's something that I need to follow up with them. see if which 5 they want. I can go and see if we've got emails amongst ourselves saying, yeah, we agree with that. I do think it might be worth maybe there being a fiscal committee that reviews things like this. So it's not just me receiving this and showing you guys once and we file it away for. And so that's something to figure out if we're gonna step up our game in responding to our financial situation. But that's the interim report. Any questions?
Looks like no. Sounds like maybe we should put a fiscal, talk about fiscal committee on the next agenda.
Also, quick question. Will the CSP cover our audit costs for one more year?
No.
But they, okay. Damn, that's a bummer.
It does seem like
That's what I thought.
does seem like a reasonable thing to fiscal committee.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, we should discuss that next meeting. See if anyone else has thoughts about it in the next month. Community and culture. How about some enrollment update? I feel like I should get a drum roll.
We're still, we still have 64 students enrolled, we're at our cap.
We have a wait list of,
Yeah, oh, right, let me pull that up, sorry.
Last meeting, we had a wait list of 1 sophomore, 4 juniors, and 2 seniors.
just gonna say, 7, okay, yeah, I was gonna say a wait list of 7.
We actually have received 2 more enrollment requests since then, so I don't know what class those students are in, but we should now get to 9 on the wait list. Once those get added.
Yes, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they haven't been added yet. Let's see.
This is the time too where we'll see if kids decide to stay, even after they filled out the intention roll form. Some families at the last minute are like, no, we moved, or so we might see a shift, because we tend to, but it'll be interesting if we don't this year, and actually it might create a lot more comfort and a stronger base to start off of, because that's been a little chaotic every school year. But
Yeah, so the last 2 were not added. As far as I can tell to the enrollment.
do they come in July?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
So still no freshmen as far
no freshman, no, but I don't know if they.
unless the enrollment requests were
Right.
from freshmen, still no freshmen on the wait list.
And I
and
can,
those are probably gonna, as we expect.
I can look up our enrollment request page quickly and see what
Awesome.
class codes are
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that.
one of them is a former student, 12th grade, and another is an 12th grade. So 2, we'll add
Oh,
2
wow.
12th graders to that list.
Okay.
So that'll give us 1 sophomore, 4 juniors, and 4 seniors on it.
Anything else to say about that from anybody? Good, okay, Project Youth Plus.
Casey, if you wanna handle this one, know that I have passed around the contract for Project Youth Plus, as well as the grant budget.
Hey, Rye, since you're there with everybody, do you want to take the lead?
Sure. So Casey and I met with the team from Project Youth Plus, and we discussed kind of ramping up our program here to make sure our students are receiving those benefits. They kind of have 2 programs. One is sort of like a college success, kind of for students who are geared towards that track, and another is a whatever it takes, which is geared maybe towards helping students get jobs and follow that track. Casey and I agree that we want everything for every student. We want, we don't want to say, oh, this student, well, you're on one thing. If you change your mind and want to go to college, too bad. You're not, So we talked, and Jan Taylor, our Project Youth Plus coordinator, understands our ideas that we want to do whatever it takes and get every student to college if that's their path. And so our discussion was about maybe not trying to pin us so much into one of their programs, but to give us our students opportunities in both. And because of Casey working with Jessica Durant on the grant funding that you can see on that last page, we're able to have a fair amount. It's over $16,000 that this contract you're looking at is for. I believe it was something like 8 hours a week of dedicated support, and some, taking students out on campus tours, helping students with resumes, helping students with job application, like all kinds of support. And so I think it's a great partnership. Of course, anytime we are committing the school into a large contract, we do need board approval. But given that this would be funded by a grant and not come out of our, and it's a grant specifically for that type of thing. So say, hey, we'll give you money if you do something like this. So, we don't want to lose that money and that opportunity for our students. So we are requesting from the board approval to sign the contract that you see before you. Anything to add, Casey?
No, great coverage. And just the note of this grant that is funding this is part of that integrated programs grant. So we don't have the money released yet. So if you vote to approve it today, we will hold off on making any payments until we're sure that we have the money in the bank.
That seems pretty reasonable. I'll get over and then see anything that concerned me. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
What else do you have? What did you do? Sorry. What were you concerned about?
I don't have any concerns.
Oh, okay. I don't either. I motion to approve that we sign the contract.
Does anyone else need more time to look at it or anything? Well, I second the motion to approve it. Let's vote. Aye. All right. Looks like it's unanimity.
Thank you.
Unanimity. All right. Oregon Career and Information System request. Is that so? We already did Project Youth Plus, and then we have another one.
Casey, are you able to talk about that one?
Yeah, that one I can do. So this is a bit separate. It's doesn't fall under this grant, the grant program, but out of University of Oregon for decades, they've had a program called Oregon Career Information System. We applied for license last year and didn't really have the opportunity to use the system much because we didn't yet have a college and career class. So now that we have a class coming and Jan Taylor will be teaching it, it's kind of it's an all entirely online one-stop shopping for helping students create, for helping Oregon students put together their 4-year graduation plan, their portfolio, research scholarships. Like, it does a lot of what Project Youth Plus does. What it doesn't do, though, is that it doesn't provide like one-to-one support. So it would never be good enough as a standalone college and career support system for our kids, but it's a really good online program. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. I'm so sorry. But it's a great program to help kids prepare for their future, and it's about $12.50 per student for 64 students. So the intention is for Jan Taylor to be able to use it as part of her curriculum for college and career. And then also teacher leaders, we are all paired with kids as their advisors, and we help them with their 4-year plans and making sure they take all the classes that they need. And if they do need an extra year, make sure we adjust their plan accordingly. And it has a bit, embeds a lot of those tools as well. So it's not a contract with them. It's more just like we pay them the annual licensing fee. And it does follow the amount is under $1,000. So it falls under a lot of the thresholds that usually are required for board approval, but felt like it was important for you guys to be aware of this program, to definitely give feedback. And if you see any, have any concerns with it, that you're kind of brought into the loop as to KCA using Oregon CIS.
Well, I don't think we need to vote on that since it's gonna be about $750 or so. Looks like, seems like.
Right, it's under
So it's under 1,000.
Yeah.
So, seems like an extra online resource can't hurt anything. That's a pretty small amount, so let's use it this year and see what happens. Does anyone feel like we need to do anything other than that? Seem good with that? Okay. Community connections. Does anyone have a connection with the community to report? I guess I should report that the August Art Walk has been canceled, but participation this year in the Art Walk was extremely low, and it doesn't seem worth continuing, so that will not be happening. Other community connections. I don't have anything.
Anything about communication?
I just, it's a disappointment, so not many people turned out.
Yeah, nobody, basically nobody. I mean, that's not true, but when you do that much organizing and putting on a band and everything, it's like, it seemed like it was very close to nobody.
Wow, for the first one in June.
Well, June was pretty low, but July was
Yeah.
It's a hard time to do an outdoor
It
event.
happened, I think the fair weekend was probably not the best plan. But also, I don't know, it seemed like it's not getting any traction this year. People were all excited last year, and this year. Hard to say.
Yeah.
People are fickle.
I do have an item I forgot to mention under the financial report. If you'll indulge me, can we go back?
I shall indulge you.
Thank you. We, at present, in terms of our health insurance program, we are only providing insurance for employees. We're not offering it for children or spouses. And part of that is based on when we set it up, we checked to see what the need was. And it turned out no one needed it because everyone was on OHP, so we did not need that for children or spouses. And so in discussing with our staff, it seemed that it might even be better for us to not offer it, so that then people could go to OHP and say, no, I can't even get it from work. Like, it's not offered, so I need OHP. However, as we expand and add staff and grow, it is the case that our needs of our staff changes. And so we have the situation now where at least one employee needs coverage for a child. And so this would be a change to our existing health program. And because of the cost, it is beyond the threshold of, we just, teacher leaders, if it's $50, we can buy it, whatever. But it does reach that threshold because it's several $100s a month extra. In fact, about $600 a month to add a child to a plan. So over 12 months, that's over $7,000, of course. I will say, when we set up our plan, and even though we didn't offer it, it was our intent to meet the needs of our staff. And we were lucky that there was not this need in our first year. And so we had some savings in our budget from not having to cover that cost. And so what I'm asking is for approval to be able to cover the costs for an employee and child or children. Right now, there is not the request for spouses. At the moment, no employee has said, "Oh, I need my child, my spouse, and beyond that." So right now, it would just be the change to add the ability to cover full costs of the extra cost for the child. I believe, and also we've had the situation where a hire asked at the interview, "Will I have coverage?" And I wasn't present, but what I've heard is that the people who were there responding said, "Oh yeah, we're going to cover that. Yes, we will. Even though we hadn't had that discussion, even though it wasn't offered at the moment." And so if we want to hold to the commitment that some of our staff or board members who are present committed to, I think that we should say, yes, we will offer that. But I think we should have a larger conversation. We've had, one-off meetings in the past about salaries and about budgets. And I think it is worth having a discussion about what our program should look like going forward. Say someone says, "Oh, I need it for my spouse and my children," and like, are we able to afford on our limited budget the full package for every employee, or do we need to set up some kind of limits to say, okay, we could cover a spouse or a child, or we could cover them at 50%, or and so to me, that's the long-term discussion that I think we should start having. But in the short term, I do think we should honor our commitment to support the staff who need that for the job. Any questions?
I feel like it'd be hard to say no to that, considering that people have children. I like children and stuff. We're gonna do it for the kids, in fact. So yeah, it seems like it'd be hard to say no, but yeah, it's a giant expense. And it could really blow apart a budget if you hire someone with 5 kids.
The healthcare is actually not per child, like
It's just child.
it's kind of like, there's a cost for children, so it's not like, it would be blown apart if we hired 5 people with children and spouses.
Yeah.
So that, but if it's, one person, so yes, are we setting a precedent for offering something?
But
probably.
I think we are setting a precedent if we do it, and we probably should do it.
Right.
That's my opinion, and I would also like to not include the spouses at this point.
Yeah.
Because because it is a huge impact to the budget. Luckily, we're in a good position, but that could change.
And so part of a conversation about spouses could be, do we offer it, but then they just have to pay that full extra expense? Like, oh yeah, you can add your spouse, but if it costs $500 extra a month, you're gonna pay us $500 a month. And we haven't set that up. We haven't said that because we haven't needed to. So that's sort of that question I wanna have at some point is, so it's not just me making decisions on our whole human resources program and stuff like that. I'd like there to be more of a collaborative discussion of like, what are the issues, what are the costs, how does this back, But again, today I would like your approval to add the ability for staff to add their child.
Well, I could bet. Does anyone else have anything they want to talk about?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, well, I motion to approve the addition of children to the healthcare.
I'll second that.
That's second. So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
All right, I now return to your
Regularly scheduled programming, facilities update. Michelle.
Okay, everybody, so the renovation is done. Well, maybe not completely done, but mostly done. Close enough for government. I would like to invite everybody to come for a tour after the meeting, so you can put your eyes on it. This will be Amanda's third tour.
Twice
That's
today,
okay.
second one today.
Yep, yeah, we just added a whole heck of a lot of new space. I have a request of maybe Mr. Zook. You made a map for me last year of a floor plan. Since we just added 3 new spaces, would you be willing to make me a new map with included, so now including the whole floor plan?
Yeah, let's see, we're gonna be probably having some sort of work parties here soon, so that
Yeah.
would be the time to get in, do some measuring and mapping.
Okay.
Make something.
That would be greatly appreciated, because yeah, my next request would be, after all of us teacher leaders go on our retreat, we're going this weekend. Hopefully we can find a time where we can have like a work party day where we do another just cleansing, clearing, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. Because there was a lot of new dust approved.
New dust and furnishings to move.
Furnishings to move and yeah, just not as intense as it has been in the past stuff, which is great. Just kind of maybe like a 1-day thing, just everybody kind of like a housewarming or a school warming get together, you know. But the last thing was that the original proposal that Rocky had put together for us, he did not quote us for painting. I'm not sure why. He thought that I wanted to take that on again, and I said, no thank you. I would like to request a approval for, which I'm sorry, I should have uploaded this digitally, but this is his bid for the paint that he did in the back for $2,190, which would be the last bit from this renovation, besides maybe just minor other improvements that I'm gonna maybe ask else around to do. But this is his proposal that he put together. He already painted, it's done. So I'm not saying that, you know, we have to approve it, but he did do the work. We don't want to be those people. So anyway, we'll be able to get into it. So here is the proposal. I'm asking for approval to just pay him that last little bit. The other thing we did pay a little extra for too was to get a utility sink put in, and also to get a faucet fixed in the boys' bathroom that was super leaky. And also it was more sanitary for the cleaning person to have a spot to refill and dump dirty mop water at. So that was a great addition too, to have, and I will show you that on our tour.
So we need the painting bill.
Yeah, so let me take a look at it, and I should have just made multiple copies, so. Sorry about that.
Is internet facilities or is it financial? I guess I'm not sure.
Both.
Okay. Well, that looks like pretty reasonable to me.
He said that he gave us a really good deal on it.
That is what they will tell you.
So,
But it doesn't look bad.
no, it's,
Motion to approve the payment for the edited proposal.
I will second that motion.
Okay, let's vote. Aye. It's
Wonderful.
unanimous.
Thanks, y'all.
Well, it sounds like, so do you guys wanna figure out a date for a work party, like a retreat, or is figuring that out today?
I mean, even if you all wanted to throw out times over the next, you know, obviously not this week, because there's also a slew of 11 interviews that Taryn and I are gonna do.
For the food service.
Yeah.
For the food service manager position, yeah, there's a lot of.
Oh, that was a
That's
community
great.
connection. 11 people to interview for the food service.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, so maybe next week, some times or days that you're available.
We generally do board meetings on Monday. So Monday, or should anyone else have any?
Or does a different day work better?
I don't know what day it is.
I'll probably live here until school opens. All the sun is up, so anything works for me.
I think
Or Friday, because we're never here on Fridays, so
Yeah.
it's all coming on Friday.
We could do a work party and then go to dinner.
Yeah, that's next Friday,
next Friday.
next Friday, work party.
That would be the 15th.
Thank you.
That's Friday the 15th.
Okay, 15th work party, let's say we start at 1 o'clock.
1 in the afternoon?
I said what, I said
Oh,
what?
what?
1, 2 o'clock, should we start? 9 people,
10:30 in the morning?
10:30 AM on the 15th.
Cause it's definitely cooler this week, but then it's starting to heat back up again, and we do have air conditioning in this building, so it's kind of nice to get like any chores if you have
So
to
let's do some
do
morning chores.
outside in the morning.
Make it in here, that sounds good.
If everybody's okay with that, awesome.
I won't be able to make it because my son's getting married in town.
Oh,
Congratulations. Well,
Don't worry,
That's very
Sherry.
serious.
I think
It's okay.
we can blend furniture. If you don't mind, but we're happy to be doing it on a different day.
We could save something for you.
Oh,
At least save a couple piles of dust.
Yeah, right.
No, I won't, I'll clean
No,
it
we
for you.
won't, Tara. We will not be leaving any dust for anyone.
Okay,
That's so fun.
sounds like you'd be okay with that. All right, that's great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Um,
So,
internet service providers.
yeah.
Does anyone wanna talk about?
I do. I mean, I don't, but it needs to be discussed. So currently we get internet from ID Data. It only costs $150 a month, but that's because it's home internet. So we lack a little bit of the safety and security that it really requires to run a school. So I made 2 separate phone calls, one to Ziply and one to Spectrum, I'm such a file guy, okay, brain freeze. So I've called Ziply and I've called Spectrum. Ziply says that we already have the infrastructure to put internet towards the building. We don't qualify just for small business internet, it has to be business enterprise because we are a school. We can qualify for a lower rate through something called an E-rate program, but I first have to see if the district is already accessing that and if we can access it under their umbrella, or if they're gonna make us do it on our own. Which brings me to the price point. Price point for business enterprise internet is $500 to $600 a month. There's not really any way to get around that. Unless we hire a whole entire IT team to do the firewall and everything, which there'll be a second. So what I am proposing is one of the reasons that we need a floor plan also is because Spectrum says that they need to lay infrastructure to the building, which is gonna be an additional cost. So if we want to humor their multiple, like if we wanna get a bid from Spectrum and a bid from Ziply, I need a floor plan to give to Spectrum. If we all just think, go ahead with Ziply because they say the infrastructure's already here and they can get out sooner than Spectrum can, it'll be easier to install everything, then that's a decision that I can make and then follow up with pretty much as soon as we're done with this meeting. I can call
But
Ziply.
the first thing to figure out is what they're doing through the district, right?
Yes, so I emailed.
After that.
So the issue with asking the district is I don't often get replies back from the person who is in charge of this sort of thing. So I can call and I can email, but if they don't reply to me, they don't reply to me. And so I would need permission from the board to go through the portal and apply as an individual entity with KCA for the E-rate, like funding, like pad, because lower income educational facilities can have access to federal funding that help fund the internet for the facility. So what are your thoughts on those 2 internet provider options, feelings on $500 to $600 a month, because I have feelings about that.
And also, is there another internet provider company that we're not thinking of that could
Right.
offer?
Don't the wireless companies offer pretty extremely high speed internet options these days?
Like, you
Like-
mean satellite internet?
So.
Oh, you mean like Verizon?
Yeah. Maybe worth.
We
checking
could
into
check
that.
into Verizon, the reason that, one of the big downfalls about our current internet provider is that we wanted to stay with our local company, but also, yeah, they did give us commercial internet, which is residential, and then also our phones are Wi-Fi phones.
Right.
So anytime the internet went out, which was often, we didn't have a phone either, so in case of emergency, we have to have a landline.
And not even just in case of an emergency, but there's the new law in Oregon that completely bans cell phones in the classroom,
Oh, right.
no matter what. And so if students aren't able to access their phones and the Wi-Fi goes off, parents cannot get a hold of their children, and that is not cool. So Spectrum, both Spectrum and Ziply can offer landline phones that aren't connected to the Wi-Fi bundled in to this budget that they've given
Well,
me.
that sounds like a good reason to do Wi-Fi or the.
Mhm, the wireless,
aspect of it.
yeah.
So what do you need to find out from the district, I guess, before we go forward with something?
Just like with the grant, the no,
Integrated grant?
No, not the integrated grant, the one that,
Title I.
nope, the one with the cameras.
Oh.
SSA. Yes, thank you. Let's do it.
No, stronger connections grant, SCG. SCG,
Yeah, so the Stronger Connections grant, what happened is we were going through that individually. Casey realized that we could be under the district umbrella there. We had guidelines for that though, like nothing that's under the district umbrella can be wired into the building. Because if we move, it belongs to the district and they want their stuff back. So that there's like a pro and a con there. Because another thing is, I think that if we do have to go under the district, then we have to access like their IT group, and they're so busy all the time.
So then I guess my follow-up question is, have you looked at the online application so that if we were to not go through the district, how much like
In terms of financial hit would be potentially.
or how much work would it be to try and get the same financial discount? So
It's just like some paperwork that I have to fill out, and then they'll have to assess us individually. So that's like another thing, that's like a whole process that I just wanted to touch base with the board first and to see if the board prefers that we try and go under the district or like what, because this isn't something that I can just decide on, because it's gonna be at least $500 a month if we don't access the funding. And then, $500 times 11 is $5,500. It's quite a,
Yeah.
so I was just bringing it forth because we can't get out of this.
Yeah.
If we provide internet access to students, we're required by law to make sure that there's firewall, that there's like adult, it's not called parental controls, but you know what I mean, where there's.
age appropriate.
Exactly,
controls or-
where they can't access
Sure.
naughty things on the
Sure.
internet or,
Yeah, it seems like with the timelines involved, we should probably go forward simply since the school year is fast approaching.
I appreciate
And
that.
you're not getting up, but I'd say send some more emails to the district and see if we can get any information about it.
I'll call too, if he hasn't emailed me by tomorrow, I will just call the district office.
You get to decide what gets censored and what doesn't.
Absolutely. I can tell, what's cool about Ziply and Spectrum is they said that they can offer the like IT support kind of thing where they're like managing the firewall and everything, but we get to set up the guidelines for it.
I'm just asking because when I'm at the guild, Boys and Girls Club has that on our internet and you can't hardly access much, you can't access
Yeah.
Craigslist,
Yeah, exactly, because there's,
I guess so,
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, but if you get to decide.
totally. Ryan?
I just wanna say, it sounds like you've done a lot of research and a lot of work, thank you for that. My one question is, have you reached out to like Woodland or Sunny Wolf to ask what they're doing?
No, I haven't. That
Because
is a
that would be
great
like,
question.
what are they paying for internet and
Mhm.
and are they under this, you know?
That's so smart, Ryan, thank you so much.
I'm curious if they are under the districts or who they're providing.
So, which becomes tricky because they're both in very different areas, so they might have access to a different company that we don't, but Spectrum and Ziply are pretty universal.
So, but it
Or have they
sounds,
gone through the process of doing the, you know, the E-rate kind of thing, you know, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling they probably set their own accounts for some reason.
but aren't they like different in their like charter status than we are, like, aren't they a part of the district?
No,
Oh, okay.
It's all the same, they're just elementary instead of
Oh, okay.
secondary.
Okay, cool, I will reach out to them.
Thank you.
What time is it? It's after 5, so I'll have to wait till tomorrow, but yeah, I'll call them tomorrow. Yeah, and then Cody, you said Ziply sounds like the better option if follow up with Woodland and Sunny Wolf.
Well, I mean, Spectrum sounds good too, but like,
Yeah.
that's gonna take longer because you're not gonna have facilities map for a minute, and they say they need to get into the building to do stuff, and then people say they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I said
Let's
to Ziply when I talked to them, I had mentioned that Spectrum said they had to lay infrastructure and they were like, well, we already have infrastructure for your building, so.
Or
So-
you may have to lay the lines up.
Yeah, the fiber optic line.
Yeah. Spectrum told us that too, that's why we didn't get them for our home, because it was like, it was like $3,000 just to like trench and run the line from the road, because our driveway's so long.
Yeah, okay, cool, so I will, just to clarify, tomorrow I will reach out to Woodland, Charter and Sunny Wolf and ask them about how they manage their internet access. I have a feeling that Woodland's gonna be like, the students don't really access the internet, but the 8th graders might, so we'll see, and then if they are basically, like, if they're like, we don't use the internet, then do I have approval to then call Ziply back and establish internet service with them, or what would be my next step forward?
I think that checking with the other charters, trying to contact the district. And short of getting a better answer from the other charter schools, or not hearing back from the district, I suppose at that point, I would think we'd probably go ahead with Ziply and fill out the forms for the reduced rate ourselves.
Okay, and just for transparency's sake, as I do all that, I'll send the board an email. Okay.
And since we're gonna be paying probably monthly, I think we could probably, you can do this, I think, without having formal approval for all of the expenses for the year until we
I
get
mean,
this.
it's a contract, so.
Yeah, if it's,
It will be, well, if it's a contract, well, then maybe at this Friday meeting, we can square it away because you'll have all the research and
And the
we'll
recording
have it
sounds
all
great.
for it.
awesome, thank
Does
you,
that sound okay?
that sounds
Okay.
perfect,
All right,
thank you so much.
thank you, that's a lot of work. Student report. Sarah.
Casey had texted at some point that Whitman was on. Is Whitman there to give any sort of student report on the summer?
Whitman's here.
So is the question whether I have any kind of student feedback?
Are you able, or do you have anything to contribute for a student report this month?
The students miss school. Just about everyone that I've talked to says that they're really excited for school to come back because they miss, being there, and they miss the teachers, and they miss each other.
Wow.
I mean, I've not been hanging out with like everyone from school over the summer. I've been in contact with a good few people, and that seems to generally be the sentiment. I guess a question to ask, something that I guess is important as far as students go, is student representatives as far as when elections are going to be. Ryan and I were talking about this because, for example, I've graduated, so I'm not actually representative of students anymore. But I would technically be a student representative until October when the elections would be.
Not following what you're saying, I'm sorry. I can't understand quite. what you're saying.
Whitman, it's a little garbled. I can convey, we actually did discuss this, I believe, at the last board meeting, which you weren't there to hear, that, Whitman is open to that discussion of should students, once they graduate, be replaced as a student representative. And I think it's something that the students themselves should discuss, an ongoing policy of some sort, like, hey, for now, Whitman's our representative, because, even if he's no longer a KCA student, because the students themselves didn't come up with a succession plan. And we can bring that to them in August or September and say, hey, what's your plan for if your representative graduates? Do you want to keep them on for a few more months, or do you want to replace them?
Yeah, we could replace seniors in May for the following year. There's a lot of different options.
Whitman, are you able? Are you able to talk to Kava and ask her at maybe community?
Feel free to talk about it.
Yeah, I can contact Kava.
Ask her to lead a discussion with the students of what the succession plan should be.
I can ask her right now.
Cool. All right. Anything else to report from students?
No, not really.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Whitman.
Thanks, Whitman.
Miss y'all. Bye. I'm still here.
Good luck.
Thanks for mowing the lawn. Yeah.
Staff report.
Yeah, report. Okay, hi. We posted the food service position. We have 11 interviews to do starting tomorrow morning. Yay. We got some pretty fantastic replies to the position, to be quite honest. Melissa and I were reading through the cover letters today, reading for a second and looking at each other like, wow. So feeling pretty good about it. Okay, what else? Renovation and everything. It's really exciting. We're trying to wrap our head around moving furniture around, moving things out of the way. KCA and Ryan are back from Vietnam. Yay. That's awesome. What else? I don't have much else to report because we're all just like really busy.
You guys haven't been here.
No, yeah, I like made a point. No, I really did. I did come in at the very end of July. That's because I couldn't be in the building while the construction was happening because it's too loud for my sensory sensitivity. But like pretty much right at the end of July, I was in here starting to do stuff. But there's so many things to do. So yeah, we could use help. If you have free time, we have a party on next Friday, so that's exciting. And I think that is it.
Okay. Excellent. The Rusk Ranch Nature Center. Potential for developing the use of the soccer field lot.
Casey?
Hey, hi. So, little bit of backstory for those who haven't been with the school for years. That Rusk Ranch Nature Center has been connected to KCA since the earliest days of writing the proposal. They initially, the board of Rusk initially agreed to have the school be built at the center. There is a lot, approximately 4 acres. There is a tax lot. Rusk Ranch is actually comprises it. It's 50 acres of a nature preserve, but it comprises 4 separate tax lots. And one specific lot had been planned to be used by the Illinois Valley Soccer Club, the soccer club that does elementary soccer programs. And so years ago, this was maybe, 12 years ago, Russ made a guarantee with a soccer program to house soccer games there. Well, every year the soccer organization would say, you know, we're gonna do it soon, we're gonna do it soon, we're gonna, you know, create these fields, we're gonna do it soon, and Russ Ford agreed, politely agreed, and waited and waited and waited. And after about 10 years, they finally gave up on the soccer team. And so that's when it became available to us. When we submitted our proposal to the board, the revised proposal that was approved, it included a letter of intent between Rusk and KCA for the school to be located at Rusk Ranch. This was, of course, not anything binding between the school and Rusk Ranch, but it definitely just does reflect like the level of commitment that Rusk has had in the school from the beginning. And from the beginning, Rusk, if we would have been able, you know, if we would have been able to house the school there, which obviously wasn't possible, we didn't have the funding, we couldn't get through the permitting process, it became very unrealistic. And it seems like things are all working out for the best. So no regrets there. But if we would have been able to put the school there, Rusk had no plans to charge us. They essentially wanted to gift us use of that land. However, they do pay a small tax, approximately $1,000 a year. Tax is still required to be paid on that lot because that 4-acre parcel is not being used by a nonprofit. So if back in the day, if the soccer team had begun to use it as a nonprofit, after 1 year of regular qualified for tax exempt status, but they did not use the lot. It wasn't converted to tax exempt, and the organization has been paying this property tax every single year. So our school would have been able to, you know, be located there for basically free if we would have put in the infrastructure and paid for the tax lot, and we didn't do it, of course. Well, Rusk still has invited us, hopes that we can make use of those 4 acres in whatever way we see fit. They're very, very open to it being used. And the only catch is that now that we have, you know, have located the school in a different location, that we are at risk of doing to Rusk what the soccer team did to us, what the soccer organization did to us, you know, every year saying we're going to use it and then not really using it. So last year we brought the kids, we started using the space, and hold on a second, I'm pulling over, sorry. We started using the space with the intention of, I mean, the field is wide open as far as we could build an outdoor structure there. We could build a classroom there, bring kids there for outdoor learning, like so many possibilities to use not just that 4-acre parcel, but the entire area. And here's the catch, just the one catch is Russ, they have a very small budget, and they have said, you know, basically, can you guys please let us know, do you intend to use this as a nonprofit for nonprofit purposes regularly? If so, you know, they've reached the point where they really need a decision from us. Okay, if so, if you're going to use this regularly, can you pay the property tax until it qualifies for tax exempt status? And can you take the lead on requesting the conversion to a tax exempt status? Meaning we would pay the tax for that lot this year of approximately $1,000. We would initiate the paperwork to convert that tax lot, and then we would provide to the county the documentation that KCA students are using the nature center, are using that lot with some amount of regularity. And then from then on, at that point, if once it gets converted, it's a tax-free lot. It's open to our use. However, they basically just said to me, like, that they can't continue to pay this fee, that if we're not going to step up and really use the space, that they would need to start looking around for another organization, another nonprofit who would make regular use of the space and cover the tax payment until it's tax exempt. So my request is not for the board to agree to do that at this meeting. but for the board to agree for me to meet with Patty Downing, the executive director, to create a potential contract and then to bring a contract that lays this all out very, very clearly, to bring this contract to the board for review.
It's like having access to that, pretty cool. It's also money to get busing and use it. How likely is it, do you guys think that you're actually gonna be able to use it successfully and regularly? I think, I don't know, my gut says maybe is it gonna be hard and maybe not likely, or?
Well, that was gonna be my comment, is I can totally understand where Patty is coming from. And I know it's been hard for us to squeeze Russ Branch in through all the other layers of responsibilities that we've had. But it sounds like it's not a horrible thing for Casey to go ahead and just put that together, but then also us as teacher leaders, getting real with each other and being like, can we make this a regular thing, you know, as a team? Can we each commit to say like 1 month, right? Like 1 month Taryn takes a class out there, 1 month I don't know what that looks like, but maybe this is another thing that we could also do at our retreat.
I think the intensives could be a possible nice use of it.
Totally.
And then I also, cause my language processor is literal, like it's not a soccer field, right? Like we don't have to go and like.
No.
Have to be running around.
It's just where,
I know.
it's just where the soccer field was supposed to go for that week.
Okay.
It just needs like a,
Cause as it
for
turns out,
it to
Jason
really
also
be
takes a lot of money to build a
utilized,
soccer
is
field.
we need like a hog,
It's not like you're
a hog brush, we need to clear maybe a space, which Casey and I have gone out there a ton. Casey and Ryan took a whole school there to go check out their new mini golf course. And then when I was doing my class in the fall or in the spring, that was based more on leadership and volunteer work. We went out there twice, I think, right, Casey, and did some trail work. We might have gone out there 3 times, but we've been trying to be more active, and I think we can be. But again, I think it'd probably be good for us as teacher leaders to talk about it as well. Like, can we make that work?
Yeah, we should maybe.
Because I do want to honor
maybe
Patty
do
and not leave her be.
Yeah, maybe do a bit of research about how much we actually have to use it to be a legitimate
Sure.
tax exempt status and stuff, because
Yeah.
then it's a free resource after the first year, so that makes it very tempting if we, but at the same time, they don't want it to be a drain and a distraction.
Yeah.
We do
Well,
have.
if you're working with them, you're gonna have access to the whole rent, and so like I've worked there myself too, and there's trails and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And considering that there aren't that many windows in this building, being able to go outdoors like that it's really would really be good. But for me, the real main thing is I really think KCA is just gonna be successful, and soon, or maybe sometime soon, you're gonna wanna build a school with windows, and it's like everything that you want in your school, and having this place that is a possibility where the land is like as cool as it is. That it wouldn't be that hard, it wouldn't cost the whole fortune to buy a place. Having that possibility is a huge possibility to make a connection and sustain that connection. I feel like is looking into a really bigger future, bigger possibility. You of course know how much available time for programs to go out there, but there's a lot of value.
I agree.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah.
It is a small amount of money to keep that potential alive.
Yeah.
We all, just one more input point. We do have a community teacher who's teaching geobiology the first semester. And that is actually, like, since you were so kind to clarify that we don't have to do sprinting in the soccer field, it is actually like super reasonable to have that relationship with them for a class like that, because
What do you mean by geobiology?
so we have he's teaching place-based geographical biology, like the rock cycle of the area, the biodiversity of the area. Our community teacher is going to be Forrest Roth, and he
Biogeography groups.
exactly, and so that is a perfect spot, because a high school graduation requirement is either a field science or a lab science requirement, and we do not have a lab facility. So we have to have a field science component, and that actually is perfect for that.
And then can I just ask, and I remember you guys figuring out that it was, and part of why you guys started taking the students out there was because we found out how easy it potentially was to just grab a district bus.
Mhm.
And so what is the in-town bus cost us a day?
I wanna say when we took a bus, I think the time we took the bus to Rest Ranch, and another time, I went with Christy's class when she and Christine Gardner went to the Forks. I didn't wanna say something like $35.
Oh,
So for, to go out there for like an hour and a half and come back.
that's great. Okay, well, I would like to propose that we authorize future discussions and potential contracts and a bit of head scratching from the future leaders to come back to next month with a proposal and potential contract.
Yay.
I agree.
I
You second it?
second,
Okay.
Terry seconds, let's vote.
Vote.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that sound good, Casey?
Casey?
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Well, we should set up a meeting with Patty and the teacher leaders and other teachers. Talk, brainstorm, how can we use that space? I think it has a lot of potential.
Okay. August art walk plans, none.
Cancel.
Student handbook
Oh.
discussion.
Yay, so we were hoping that today was the day that the board perhaps at their convenience over the past month read the student handbook so we could go ahead and approve it to be passed out. Have you all had a chance to do that? Do you have questions or concerns? Any ideas about edits? Anything at all? And can we approve it?
I have read through it, and I do not have any comments, questions, concerns personally.
I haven't read it.
It's okay, Terry. No worries, it's a lot.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cody, you had like a little bit of contention with how it was put together at the last meeting, so I was just wondering if you had a chance. Oh, okay.
I felt like I wanted time to look at it before.
Oh, perfect, yeah, okay, so was that
To make
enough
sure that
time?
there was opportunity for input, and it wasn't just,
Oh, you just said that you felt disappointed that the process wasn't transparent, and so do you feel like you had enough time to look over it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
it's fine, I think it's fine.
Awesome, I'm so glad. I don't think I can make a motion to approve it, but if you would like to move to approve it, we can just be done with that. Anyone?
Sorry,
No, you're good.
I would motion to approve the student handbook.
I will second that motion.
Let's vote.
Huzzah.
Yay.
Done with that, oh my gosh, what a
That's
relief.
huge, y'all, thank you. We become
The
very
relief.
vulnerable at the school without the student handbook.
The relief that my body
Like that.
just experienced.
A little too much later last year. Yeah, so thank you for taking the time to dig into it, so.
Okay, thank you so much.
Some of our policies to add, we'll have to probably bring to the board for just a refurbishing, let's say, because the state did just pass a law that says no, cell phones are not banned, so now we need to update our cell phone policy.
We have to install the cameras, so there will be a little section, like a little explanation that the school is under surveillance.
Yeah.
For your safety, kind of thing, and so, but other than that,
Okay. Our board meeting will be late next month, September 8th.
Oh.
Because of Labor Day.
September 1st is Labor Day, so I
Right, right.
want to
Sure.
do that.
We don't,
Yeah.
don't do that on Labor Day.
the unions worked hard, so we don't have to do labor and trade.
Well, I think we've had ourselves a planned successful meeting here. Then we should
Yay.
probably do some touring. I'd like to go touring the facilities.
I would like to take a tour of the facilities.
The long
Thank you,
chat.
everyone. So do we have to we have to say officially adjourned? Gavel, fine. I'm just kidding, it's like
At 6:10.
16. That is a freeway. Yay, let's go see the Dusty Bill.